So I am the not as young Steve Marpman. Um, I am from Queens, New York, and I live with my wife and 8-year-old son, and our son also has Marfan syndrome. I was diagnosed at age 25 as a result of a rupture of my ascending aorta. I'd never heard of Marfan syndrome, and my aorta ended up reaching about 10 centimeters, and I decided that's enough. I have many of the classic symptoms and hadn't been previously diagnosed. I was 6'6", kind of tall and lanky, pectus carinatum, and some slight scoliosis. Throughout my medical journey, I've had about 20 procedures to correct cardiac, vascular, hernia problems, retinal concerns. I've had most of my aorta replaced. I've had retinal detachment in both eyes. I've had incisional hernias and at some point developed endocarditis, just an infection I picked up along the way. As Jill mentioned in the beginning, and as others have described, getting diagnosed was very impactful on my psychological and even emotional state. I was scared, I was angry, I was confused. I found myself often frustrated, feeling helpless and even at times resentful. At age 25, it caused me to face my mortality and rethink all my life choices, whether it was my career, my social relationships, physical activities, exercise, my finances, pretty much everything. It affected who I was, who I interacted with. It affected every choice I made from that point on. I felt like I was second guessing because of new limitations and new medications. As part of my first surgery, I got a mechanical heart valve, which meant at age 25, I started taking Coumadin, and that was a lifelong commitment. It just changed everything. And I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know where to put that in my mental makeup, if you will. Within weeks of being diagnosed and recovering from that first surgery, what was the first support I found, and the best support I've had throughout my entire journey, had been connecting with the Marfan Foundation. The foundation welcomed me in as one of their own. They had never met me before, but I was immediately family. They gave me hope that I didn't think possible. I've been able to get support and in time learned how to provide support. I volunteered for public relations campaigns. I conducted and attended workshops at annual conference. I presented my story at physician grand rounds, participated in community activities, and I even served on the Marfan board for, I believe it was 7 years. Through all the support I've gotten and throughout my journey, it has taken quite a bit. It has taken a lot of people in the Marfan community and in my personal life to help me find peace with this and integrate Marfan into my life and not let it define me. In my career, I had to change gears. I was all set up to, just before I was diagnosed, I was all lined up to join the New York City Police Academy. I couldn't do that anymore, and I had to change everything and decided to pursue. I was working a little bit of a job in mental health and decided to pursue a career as a social worker and later in healthcare management, which has been very, very rewarding. And it was a turn I am very grateful for, despite it not being my original plan. In getting back to my family, my wife has been there through everything as well. I've known my wife through about half my journey, and together we now support our son. He's again 8 years old as he lives through his journey. We focus on what is possible for him and what he is capable of, rather than dwell on any limitations. We normalize his experience as part of his life, and that it doesn't define him. He's been able to attend a couple of the conferences already, and then COVID hit, and we're looking forward to going back to conference this summer and helping him along in his journey and all that, and helping him appreciate that this is a part of his life. It doesn't define him. And whether it's, whatever he chooses to do in life, whatever I've gone through in life, it's all about those connections within the community, outside the community, whatever it is, but to find some way to make peace with it.